Angela Jordison is our guest today. Angela, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You've set the poker world ablaze. Now, when I posted about this on Facebook, I asked the question, has Phil Ivey ever done this? I mean, this is incredible. What's the reaction been like for you?
I've been overwhelmed and shocked. I just didn't realize it was that big of a deal when it was happening. I was just trying to find a way to win, and I was really shocked by the outpouring of the interest in the story, and that it hadn't been done, on back-to-back days. I just didn't realize that.
And how did the word get out? Was it the casino that promoted this? Was it the spectators? Was it your friends that realized, hey, this is something special?
Yeah, I think it was my friends. They were hitting Twitter and, contacting all the magazines and stuff, and I didn't really think it would be that big of a deal. I thought it would be a big deal with my friends and my poker guys, and I thought it would blow over. I didn't realize the magnitude and the odds of actually doing something like this.
When you get a feature story in Card Player magazine, I mean, aside from winning a bracelet, that's pretty big deal right there.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, you got to get that thing framed.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I know you played well. You have to win any tourney. But in that 3-day span, there must have been a whole lot of run good as well.
Oh, absolutely. You can't win 3 tournaments back-to-back without running unbelievable. Not just that, I just had really great situations happen. In the shootout, I had a great table draw on the first draw and the second draw. I mean, things were just lining up for me. I would get aces, someone would have kings, and it would hold every time. And just my hands were just holding. Things were coming together. It was almost like it was just meant to be.
Meant to be is right. Now, take us through the 3 tourneys briefly, if you can. I know you mentioned shootout there. That was the 3rd tourney, right? The other 2 were just a multi-table, no-limit hold'em?
Yes, and the first tournament was just a $100 buy-in, so the quality of player was significantly different than what I experienced over the weekend. It had the largest field, probably because it had the smaller buy-in, and I actually fought structure all day long. It wasn't as bad in the weekend tournaments, but that Friday tournament, the structure was a main concern of mine. I had to be really, really careful picking off small stacks because the structure was so quick that if I lose those hands, then I'm in big trouble. So it wasn't just the cards and everything. I had to really concentrate on that structure and constantly trying to stay ahead of it. So it was tricky.
Now, when you win a tournament with 537 people in it, I mean, that's got to give you confidence heading into the weekend. So that second tournament, I mean, you must have been full of confidence there.
Yeah, and it helped because I was getting a lot of walks because people were like, oh, she just won last night, and they seemed to be, I kind of had a little bit of a reputation at that point, even just from winning one tournament, just in the room, and so I was able to take advantage of that and 3-bet a little bit more and get them to fold and kind of, I'm pretty aggressive anyway, so I just kind of kicked it up a notch and when I got to that second final table, I did not have the most chips, but I still believed that I was going to win.
Well, you have to, right?
Yeah, I was like, I think I can do this, and I really want to do back-to-back.
I know guys with 4 big blinds left, and they still think they're going to double up 10 times in a row and win the thing. So the 3rd tournament is a shootout, and you mentioned you got a couple of good tables. At this point, I mean, you're flying high at this point, right?
Well, I'm so tired at this point, and my neck, my back, my whole body is just aching from sitting for so long, and they just set up temporary tables and temporary chairs, so I was back and forth on whether I was going to play. I know that sounds crazy, but my friends were like, you have to play, you can't not play, and I knew I needed to play, and it was a great format because if I didn't win that first table, I was going to be able to go home early. And so, yeah, I definitely made some mistakes on that first table, but I was able to recover and then get heads up and actually win that first table.
So you're exhausted. You're riding a 3 tournament winning streak. You decide to play the 4th. That one didn't go so well for you, did it?
It was an 08 limit. I don't play limit. It kind of bores me, actually, and so I didn't play very well. And there was times and I played PLO 8 2 or 3 times a day, two or three times a week in a local cash game, and so I'm pretty good at identifying lows and all that kind of stuff. And there was times where I would just stare at my hand, I couldn't even find the low. I so out of it. But fourth tournament, I had just had little sleep over 3 days, and all the excitement and all that.
Well, listen, you mentioned there that you like Omaha high-low pot limit. You play regularly in the cash games there. I understand the tourneys are at a casino that's a bit too far away from you. How do you adjust when you go from PLO cash games to all of a sudden playing tournaments and then also dominating them, you know?
It's been difficult for me. Sometimes when I do go from PLO8 to Hold'em, like in a cash game setting, because I don't get to play tournaments that often, I do. It does affect your Hold'em game for sure. You give more credit to the draws and you're more cautious just because you're so used to so many things coming at you at Omaha. But in a tournament format, it doesn't seem to affect me as much. I'm able to adjust a little bit better. And lately, I've been playing more Hold'em, and I just love tournaments so much. I wish I was in an area where I could actually play them more often.
Well, I know you played one last night, and you've got to play more tournaments now because you are running good. You've got some confidence, and you're playing good. And I mean, for good players, this is the time that you keep playing, right? You got to keep playing.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe you run hot and run in streaks, and that's happening to me for sure. I mean, I've just been kind of lucky this year. Things have just kind of been. I won a 50-50 raffle at the spring training down at a Giants game in Arizona. There were 6,500 tickets sold. One winner was me. So I think something's happening here. I'm just running really well, not just in poker but in life.
Well, I'll tell you what, in Canada right now, there's a lottery going on for about 30 million, so you got to come up here and get a ticket or get a Powerball ticket somewhere because you are running hot.
No, but I already used my 1 in 50 million odds.
Is that what it is? Is that what it was? 1 in 50 million? Someone figured that out?
Yeah, it's like 1 in 57 million or something like that.
Wow.
If you're like an average player against average players or some, how they figure
that is unreal and quite an accomplishment. Now, I know you play poker and you got into it. You play with your brother and your father plays. I mean, this has got to give you family bragging rights.
Yeah, because my mom was the big winner in the family because she had won 2 bracelets at their trailer park that they go down to in Arizona. In the winter, so we always get excited. Oh, she's the big bracelet winner in the family. But now I went up there.
That's awesome. So you won close to $40,000. I mean, everybody can use some extra cash. What you going to do with that money? I understand your kids are going to university.
Yeah, my kids are. My son's already there. My daughter is entering as a freshman next year at University of Oregon, and so tuition's going to be expensive. But my daughter and I are actually flying out to New York next weekend, and we're just going to go shopping for the weekend and just have a girls' weekend.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. What does your husband and your kids think about this? They've got a poker mom, and she's pretty good.
Yeah, they're really excited. They're bragging. They call me a badass. It's pretty cool to have that title. And then my husband, he's excited too, but really, he's more excited about when's his next tea time.
When's his next tea time? Does he do a little gambling on the golf course? Does he?
Yeah, he does. That's where he does his gambling.
Well, listen, quite an amazing feat. You've got some extra money. I imagine you got to take a trip down to Vegas this summer for the World Series, maybe the Colossus or something.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Colossus, and then I'm going to go back. I do have a trip planned kind of right in the middle of Women's Week, which I normally try to play. I didn't play it last year, but I normally try to play that week at the series. But I'm going to be gone that week, so I'm just going to kind of figure out what other events will fit. But I definitely want to try to get down there for more than one.
Well, the Colossus is going to be something else. I'm going down there for the first time ever. I'm going to play event number 3, Omaha High-Low Limit. And my brother-in-law is flying in from L.A. He's going to play the Colossus. He's never played an organized poker tournament, never an organized cash game, only the home games at the cottage. This guy's coming down just to say he did it. They're expecting 18,000 to 24,000 entries because you can play all 4 flights. And I know the atmosphere at the Rio will just be a party. What's your SOP experience been like?
I think it was 09 or 2010. I played 3 events, cash 2, ran pretty well. And then I played a couple times since then and did not cash, just like one event a year type of a thing.
But there's nothing else like it, is there?
No, I love it. Yeah. Of course, if I could play more of that, I would. And it's a great experience.
Yeah, I'm going down for the first time ever this year, and I'm really looking forward to walking into the Rio and seeing all the action and all the tables. Listen, Angela, thank you so much for your time today. Continued success. Congratulations. I mean, you got to get that Card Player Magazine article framed, blown up, because it really is a feat of a lifetime, really. It may never happen again for you.
Yeah, I don't think it'll probably happen again, so I'm just trying to enjoy the moment.
Angela Jordison, our high roller today. Thank you, Angela.